you are going to use the Lowland Kids Reversible Swim Top for this pattern. So you are going to cut out everything that you would if you were doing the swim top. So you will need 2 of these, which are 2 of your front bodices, and then you're going to have 4 total of the back tie pieces. So here I have all of my swim top pieces cut out. I have 4 of the back tie pieces, 2 of the front bodice pieces, and you will also need bell sleeves for your flutter sleeves. Now what I use is the Petite Stitchery & Co. circle sleeve add-on. This is completely free. They have all different sizes in this. You can find this on their website. So you're going to cut that out on the double fold. So you will see where it says fold here and here. You fold your fabric up and then over. We are going to start with our bodice. So what you're going to need is 1 front bodice piece and 2 back ties. We are going to lay our front tie pieces with right sides together on our front bodice, lining up the shoulder seams. And you want to make sure that your ties are laying in the correct direction. You want this one to go in this direction and your other one will be going the opposite direction. Don't worry about the shoulder seams lining up right now. It does look a little weird, but once you start sewing, it'll be fine. Once you have done that for both your front and your back bodice or your lining, you are now going to lay those right sides together. Once we are right sides together, this is where we're going to start. We are going to leave a little gap right here and start after that, going all the way around our straps, up to our neckline, back down our other strap, and finally ending here, leaving a small gap. We're going to start to sew here, leaving about an inch gap. We left our inch gap and now we are going to sew down our straps. Once you have that sewn all the way around your straps and neckline, what we're going to do is we're going to flip this right sides out. So go ahead and flip your straps right side out, and then we're going to go ahead and lay our bodice right sides out. Now once that's right sides out, be mindful of your seams inside of your straps here. So you want them to lay in whichever direction they were sewn on so that it lays nice and flat. So if this one's going this direction, I'm going to push it down so that when I sew this together, it's not twisted in there. Once you have that all finished, we're going to fold our top half down, bringing our sides over to the sides of our straps. What we're going to do now is we are going to sew our sides together. So make sure this is just laying nice so that when you fold your top down, your sides line up. Once you have your sides all laid out nice, what we're going to do is we're going to finish these side seams. So whichever fabrics are touching first, those are going to be the side seams that you're going to sew together. Now we are only sewing together 2 pieces of fabric here. So under my first layer, I have 2 pieces of fabric in the middle. Those are touching together first. That's what we're going to sew. So there those middle pieces are clipped together, and you're going to do that on both sides here. So here it is again. The first 2 fabrics that are touching each other are what we're going to sew. So fold over your top layer, and the 2 fabrics that are in the middle is what you're going to clip together and what you're going to sew first. Once you have those sides clipped, we are going to go ahead and do the other side. So we're going to flip our top bodice up and then flip the whole thing over. After it's flipped over, we're going to bring our top down, and now we're going to line up our sides with our straps, and then we're going to clip these together. Now that you have both sides clipped together, we are going to go ahead and sew these. When you start sewing your sides, just sew one side at a time. So start at your end, go ahead and serge or sew those together, And then when you get to the bottom where you should be stopping, you will see where you left your gap and why you needed to leave a gap, so that you could stop here and then go ahead and do your other side seams. Once you have all of your side seams closed, we're going to lay our bodice down, and now we're going to tuck our straps up inside the bodice. Make sure your straps are pushed far up in there because you don't want them to get caught when we're sewing. But now what we're going to do is line up all your side seams, because we're going to go ahead and close this by serging or sewing across the entire bottom here. Once you're finished with that, we're going to turn this right sides out through our armholes. Go ahead and lay your bodice out, and now we are going to attach the sleeve. Now I do quarter my bell sleeves. I put pins in the middle, front, and back, and on both sides. It just makes it easier for me if I quarter it, so that when I pin it on and sew it, it's in the correct places, especially when we're sewing in the round. To sew on our sleeve, we're going to lay it right sides together with our bodice, and I'm going to go ahead and line up all of my pins, and then we're going to sew this on. Once you have your sleeve all pinned, now you can go ahead and sew this together. Once you have your first sleeve sewn on, you can go ahead and do your other side. And you don't have to finish your sleeves or hem them or anything, you can just leave them as they are. Once you're finished, you can tie it in the back just like this.